Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sleepy Jazz, and today I want to talk a little bit about my game since it is 1 month away from coming out, and I just want to go over some things with how the game might end up turning out and how it's gonna look because it seems like I haven't really been able to do a lot of the things I wanted to do before release, and I'm not sure if I will be able to get to them before the game fully releases. But of course, I'm going to add a lot more as time goes on after the game releases, obviously. But, and I also just want to show you guys around and just give you guys one final sneak peek at the game, because after this video, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and I will no longer show anybody anything with this game. Anything else that comes out is gonna be a total surprise to you guys. However, I do want to go over some things because I'm actually kind of disappointed in myself and the things I wasn't able to do before the release because I was hyping it up to be something more than what it's probably going to be. But anyway,
So
let's get right into it.
just know that everything you're about to see is probably gonna look totally different from the final release because I'm about to do some developer magic and the game's gonna look a little different. Just by a little bit. Just look out for the mountains. Just look for the mountains.
Put hope in his magic, because I don't really have a lot of hope in mine. I am extremely burnt out. I'm extremely sick as well. And I haven't been able to work on this game at all. I've mostly moved on to working on my hobby game now. But I am kind of popping in to this game here and there to work on a few things. I don't know, I'm just really burnt out. I have no ideas. Also, I do apologize if some of the music becomes ear-piercing because some of the audios are louder than the others because of the instrumentals and the fact that we kind of have to go through and make sure that the music's kind of leveled out to all sound the same, even though they probably won't actually be the exact same volume. Because if I go over here, go all the way over here, this is a lot louder to me than some of the other audios, and some of them are more quieter than they really should be. Yeah, I think this is actually technically louder than what we were listening to in there. Might be the same, but it also just might be the instruments being played, but if it gets too loud, you guys can turn it down. It just kind of gets a little ear-piercy sometimes. Also, I'm asking you all a question, so comment this down below. What do you guys think Frosty's Freeze is a reference to? I will give you guys a hint. I'm gonna give you guys a hint, okay? In what game is there a guy who sells ice cream in a very cold place? This is one of my favorite games, okay, guys? I don't know if that's a good hint or not, but who else in what game, what guy sells ice cream in a cold area? That is your answer. He also sells it in different areas in that game that you can see him, you'll see him around. And I will give you another hint. It's a more I guess it's like a pixelated game, kind of. It does have a slight retro-y style to it. But that's all the hints you're getting. Pixel game, guy that sells ice cream in a cold area. Anyway, this is Frosty's Freeze. I do want to show you guys this, because I think this is cool.
Actually from
The
another
walls are
universe.
broken. I think they're not anchored. See, there's a gap. There's a gap. Look, we got Frosty the Snowman right here. At least my build of him. I made this entirely myself, guys. It's me too. Look, it's me. I'm not wearing that outfit right now, but that's me. That is me. Also, I designed the menu, and for a disclaimer, because, a certain amount of people, not even an amount of people, well, some certain specific people thought this, but no, this is not free models. My builds are pretty basic. I mean, I used a extension thing to do the text, and other than that, you can kind of see how basic that is. The door, again, text, that's glitching. The door is pretty basic and simple. I have a pretty simple style that I do because that's what's easier for me, because I'm still kind of learning around in studio. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good. These were made by Jesse, I believe. He put these in the game.
Well,
but they're his.
literally most of the map is.
Yeah, most of the map is made by him. I've built a few of the buildings with my shitty 0.01 stud building. Alright, and here we are in Horizon. If you can't guess what that's based off of, I don't know what to tell you. We have the little guy right here. What?
I said, and it's got my own music that I made in the background.
This music was made by Jesse, by the way, guys. The music in the background in here was made by him, specifically.
Some of the other areas too, even the game's main theme is made by me.
Yes, he's actually made a lot of the music that's in the game. He makes music.
I have way too many hobbies and I hate it.
But this is the character I created. This is another avatar of mine. You won't ever see me wear him. I just created this avatar to put him in the game faster, because I have an extension thing that lets me just type in my username and put any avatar I'm currently wearing, or anybody else's avatar that they're currently wearing. But this is the electronics store. A lot of things like the electronics store and the ice cream shop aren't going to be interactable just yet, but things are going to be added later on in later updates. And this area right here, what we call Shockwave, is an arcade. I'm hoping this will get fixed before we release the game. I'm not sure if we could achieve that or not. This arcade was made by Jesse and
people, my developers from my game. It's basically part of Vibe Bunker. I kind of okay,
yes.
Okay, to make it way simple, everything from this game is mainly just resourced from my own project game, and then I do my own little like paint things over with it because game development works like that. Most games you will play has asset reuse. It's a common thing. It's better than stealing.
Yeah, so a lot of things you'll see in here are from Vibe Bunker. Unfortunately, Vibe Bunker got taken down and struck by Roblox for no reason. They never told us anything, never told us why, never put the game back up or anything. It was a moderation glitch, but they are being extremely stupid right now and not putting his game back up.
I'm still working on it though.
We never got a response on why, anyway.
Yeah, things are just on their response from the videos.
Yeah, Roblox really just sucks, honestly, at this point. Especially for game developers and whatnot, and the player base too, especially, honestly.
Yeah, especially the player base, because I was thinking of re-uploading Vibe Bunker on your group, but I know your group will get striked by a former developer of that game because he uses assets from my game.
Well, anyway, we use assets from Vibe Bunker, however, they're gonna look a lot different later on in the game. Probably even before the release, we're gonna change them up a little bit to fit the idea and the look I have for Frostville. And this is the bookstore, billions of books, inspired by my favorite bookstore in the whole world, Books A Million. I love Books A Million. This is actually, this building entirely is a reference to the one that I always go to with my dad. Very fun times. I love Books A Million. I think it was Books A Million? I don't know. Yeah, it has to be Books A Million, because the Barnes & Noble was the one in Hendersonville that closed. Yeah, the other bookstore near me, I believe Barnes & Noble, closed because their landlord would not renew their lease with them, and then they put a gym there. Mind you, there's like 3 different gyms in this area that this Barnes & Noble was in. Like, literally, like, 5 minutes away from the Barnes & Noble. I'm still mad about that to this day. I hate that. But I was gonna put, like, a coffee shop in there, because the Books A Million that I go to, or that I went to with my dad had one, but I didn't know if I could necessarily fit one in here, and I was like, let's just put a kids area. Like, we probably could have fit one in there, but I was like, I kind of want an area for kids too, so, like, let's put like a little kids area, a reading place here. So it's like a mix of the library from my high school, which would be this area right here, and then the Books A Million that me and my dad would go to. Also, the lighting does need to be tweaked and adjusted in some places. I didn't even realize he joined. Let's go look for Sive and see why he's screaming. Why are you screaming?
I could hear it from a mile away. It hurts.
Why are you screaming while I'm trying to record? Why are you so I think he's possessed.
Yeah, why are you head bobbing?
I think the text is readable though, under certain circumstances. I might size it up. Yeah, I'm actually probably gonna go through and like make it a bit bigger so it's more readable. Because I do want to use a special font, I just feel like it's not like very readable for other people. Oh yeah, and you can talk to this little guy over here. Hey, I'm Pal Man. Can you help my dying brother baseplate man? Thanks.
Yes.
There's gonna be more with him later on in the game. I think Jesse had his own ideas with that little guy.
It's just random NPCs with stupid dialogue make people laugh. It has no point.
We do kind of have to fix the leaderboard where it doesn't show Jesse's actual avatar, it just shows a random guy's avatar. Also shout out to everybody that's already donated. You guys are so awesome. Hip hip hooray. Oh yeah, and we put a huge restaurant over here instead of having multiple. I might add one beside it. I'm not 100% sure, or I might just make this the whole restaurant that's here. It's really nice. Again, this is from one of Jesse's games. He made this. It's very cool. I almost thought Jesse was using free models for a little bit because I was like, how are you so good at making things in games and stuff? Like, how are these so cool looking? But also things that, but also it's like I feel like I've seen things like the things you've used before, so I'm like,
oh, some of them are open source, like the small things like trees
oh
and
yeah,
stuff. For small objects, you use open source things to save time, but you use them sparingly or you change them up a bit. Like you see like the chairs and stuff and all that, like the benches, like that's open source, but they're
yeah.
used for benches. Like, why would you put in the hours of making something else, like a big building, and then spend like 5 hours? Well, I've messed up, but it's like, why would you spend 5 hours working on a bench, then 5 hours working on your big massive building you want to build?
Or also, why waste the time spending 5 hours making a huge building and then another like 5 hours each making each individual furniture piece for it?
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Take too long.
That'd be so time consuming actually. That's what I was gonna do with my game because I didn't know about open source. I used to use free models in my game.
Yeah, don't use free models.
Oh yeah, lightning bug, which is just literally a ball of nothing that lights up every 2 seconds. Also, snowball fighting, this game that's in the amusement park. I hope that we'll be able to fix this as well, so you guys have some things that you guys can do, interact with before, after the game releases, so that way it's not just you guys looking at a map the entire time and just exploring a map. Of course, we got the bathrooms right here too. These I'm currently building and setting up to have like carnival games because the theme park's supposed to be like not just like a big theme park with roller coasters and everything. It's supposed to be more of like a permanent carnival thing that stays here, but also theme park. So it has like different rides, different games, and we also have a game of Spleef over here. Once again, I do want to work on this. I'm probably gonna make these stairs a little easier to climb, maybe. I feel like that would be better for everybody. Spleef game, I'm gonna hopefully have a thing that disables your sprint when you come up here, so that way the game's just fair for everybody, you know, and you're not like everybody's using sprint and falling down, so that way your guys are just like running normally. I really like this too. I like the snowflake and everything on it. Now, the goal for my game initially was to make a ton of open buildings that you can go in, look at, and interact with, instead of it just being a basic roleplay game with half the buildings being just like decoration buildings. However, when the game first releases, we are probably going to temporarily have more decoration buildings around instead of these plates right here, which are pretty much just indicators of where I wanted buildings. There are probably going to be some empty buildings around. There already is one over there by the doctor's office. I already have plans for that. But eventually, a lot of these decoration buildings are probably going to end up being actual buildings you can explore. Also, we did do some changes to the aquarium, if you guys want to look in there. And this is the other boutique and the other clothing store. This is going to be, I'm keeping this more as a darker aesthetic, fancy store thing, you know. And this is the second arcade. It's currently empty. There's me again. No floors either. I went and removed them so I can redo them. That's going to be a hotel. And then behind the hotel is where the rest stop is. We moved it so we could put the other restaurant over there. And if you're kind of wondering about why the view is like this, where the buildings kind of render from a shorter distance, that is to help prevent lag for now until we can fully optimize the game and make sure it's going to run smoothly and not murder y'all's PCs, Xboxes, whatever. And also, we are gonna have enough things where you guys won't see like the rendering chunks in the distance and stuff. It'll just kind of come to you as you're like driving or walking around. So this is like not gonna be as open as it looks right now because of the lack of the buildings and stuff. Also, because I'm out of a lot of ideas I want for buildings. Like, I have the ideas that I currently have down, and they're already in the game, in a way. It's just, I'm kind of running out of ideas for some of them. Some more. Because I do want to add more later on. Why is this over here? Oh. This is the gym. Well, this is going to be the gym. I'm gonna make Jesse work on this, especially because it's kind of hard to with the way I'm building. Oh, wait, what's going on?
It's just unanchored.
Oh, it's unanchored. Anyway, I'm gonna have Jesse work on this a little bit and connect the pool and the gym's gonna be connected.
Oh, it already is. That's just unanchored.
Yeah, but I'm saying like with the whole entranceway and everything, I just need you to work on it a bit more because I have more ideas. And I also wanted you to like help me with the thing of how the buildings are kind of off grid. Cause when I first made this game, guys, I was building on 0.01 studs, not knowing what I was doing. I was very dumb. Forgive me, I don't do that anymore. I'm very angry at myself for doing that, actually, because the whole time I was struggling with making sure the buildings were even and everything was like in the center, blah blah blah, and I was like, I could have just changed the stud count that I was working on. I'm so dumb. I had to redo the entirety of my obby game because of this, actually. Which there wasn't a lot, thankfully, so I was able to restart it at a good time. And I kept, obviously some of the parts like the kill bricks, the trampoline, the treadmill part that like moves your avatar in a certain direction, things like that. I kept those, and then I redid the stud count on everything, and just rebuilt the whole game, resized everything, and it looks a lot better now. Also, in case you guys are wondering about the genre and subgenre, with the genre being adventure and the subgenre being story, this is probably just gonna be a simple, generic, roleplay looking game at first, but at some point, the main goal of this game overall is to add a story, and for it to be like, have like exploring, adventuring, doing quests, things like that, and to have a storyline and lore and all of that good stuff, which will, I don't know, be added sometime probably way later in the future when I get even more developers to look to work on this, and maybe even some really well-known, talented developers to look my way and offer help. I would love that. I would actually really want to work with some developers that I really admire and look up to, but I don't know if that would ever happen or not. We are exactly, I believe, 1 month, 1 month and 10 days before the release, because it's going to be released on November 25th. And I'm probably not going to, well, I'm definitely not uploading this video till a little bit later, probably, because I just wanted to give you guys, like, a final look at Frostville, and then talk to